an economic issue. And today, we want to have a conversation. We're breaking this down from two angles: the economic cost to the nation, and of course, the financial protection or the lack of it available to households and businesses. And so, our topic this morning is what is flooding costing households, businesses, and of course, the economy. Now, I'm joined this morning by lawyer Daniel Enim, who is an economist and also a lawyer. And then later, I'll be joined by Edward Kojowusu, who is an insurance professional. He will be joining us also for the second part of this conversation. But I'm going to begin with lawyer Daniel Enim. Counsel, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Okay, I think here because today you're representing as an economist, so let me let me save the counsel. Okay, so Mr. Enim, so let's maybe first of all, I hope you're doing well, sir.
Yeah, I'm doing very well by God's grace. Yes, that's I am preparing myself seriously to.
Yeah, you mentioned. So let's quickly touch on a few things and then I'll let you go. Yes, but thanks so much for making time. So first of all, how do economists actually measure the cost of flooding to an economy like ours?
Yeah, basically, it affects on productivity. So, for instance, if my area is flooded and a number of people there cannot go out to engage in an economic activity, or if there's an economic activity in an area and as a result of the flooding, will not be able to execute that economic activity. So that is why you need to factor that. Number two, the cost or the money that it will cost government to put the place into proper perspective is another factor. And then the cost to individuals who may be affected directly by the flood. Okay, so putting all together is the cost, that to government or to state, because of course, when it happens, government have to deploy people. People have to be compensated. People have to be aligned, and so in fact, it's a huge economic cost because if it is raining in the whole area, and if you take Accra for instance, Circle is a very strategic area where almost everybody connects to other parts of the cities, La Paz and other places, even Accra Central, and it's flooded. What it means that there will be no any significant economic activity, and that what it means is that for that period, economic activity, so the benefit that will accrue to government, those who will pay tolls and levies, government will not get that revenue. Individuals that will get, whose livelihood is dependent on what I describe as the daily economy, may also not have the opportunity to make some income for the household. So it's a very serious situation. And as you know, this is not just today's problem or wahala. It's an issue date back from, pre-independence, post-independence, and today, and we are unable to adequately address it. It's quite unfortunate, but I think we need to be bold, go out and look for the money, what it takes to be able to fix this problem. As for the rains, we can prevent it. As and when it is due for it to come down, it will.
Yeah.
So we need to certainly put our house into perspective and then go out and look for the money and then address it accordingly.
So you talk about quite a number of things, the loss of productivity. You also talk about the disruption of business or economic activity in the specific areas. If the impact is this huge or enormous, why haven't we paid so much attention to it? And also, number two, why are we underestimating the flooding in the first place?
Just like I indicated earlier, this issue is not today's issue. As far back as independence that we've been trying to face it. And if you look at the Alajo, okay, first let me say the rains from Accra mostly comes from the mountains, okay, and then it drains down into Accra. So the essence is to create a gutter that will collect the water underway through University of Ghana, connect it to Alajo, the Circle area of Donna, and to the Kole Lagoon. That has been the master plan. I have cited a plan date back somewhere in 1960s to solve this particular problem. But as it appears in our nature, things that will, help us we focus on the initial cost without considering the future benefit that will accrue the nation. And everybody will start shouting that, they are going to spend so much money to just, excavate drains, etc., etc. But it is very necessary, and it is our nature. As black people, as Africans, okay, we are not. We take things that will destroy our very existence on a lighter note. We don't take it seriously, that is it. But so it is up to us, and it is time for us to be a little bit serious. This is a very serious issue. It is not just about the economy, because there's also life that are lost. Okay, and there are also health issues associated to this flooding, and we have experienced it over. So we need to be serious as a nation. Go out and look for the money. The master plan is there. We can engage more, feasibility. You see how the Odona project has started for a number of years. So we need to be proactive and radical in terms of our re-engineering and our approach to solving issues. And that is what is lacking. Not that the plan is not. The plan is there. If we know this is not today's issue, it's been there. But the execution, looking out for money, and our laxity in the system, where the various municipal assemblies and the district assemblies have not been doing their work very well. People put up houses anyhow. Nothing is done until the flood starts or the rain starts. So these are some of the issues, okay? So it is not new to us. It's not that we don't have the solution. It is there. There's a master plan to that effect. The last time I was at the Supreme Court, and I decided to just relax myself under the name tree, these retired civil servants, they were having discussion, and then one said, look, it's during President Buzia's regime, there was an attempt for him to solve this particular problem. But the associated cost, when people heard it and they started complaining, and the politics of the day couldn't allow him to be able to do that. So we need a leader that will be very bold. Let's say, look, this is not to this issue. It is very critical, necessary to be able to do that. Let's go out for the money. Let's go and borrow the money, solve it, solve our drains, solve our drainage system very well, and then bring a finality to this issue. Okay, so that if there should be any serious flood, there should be something that is far beyond what engineering could foresee. So to me, that we are not just too serious about what is happening. It happens this year. We deliver 9 speeches. Next year, the same issue. And then, we need to be serious, and leadership must take the bold step to go out and look for the money and make sure that this particular issue is addressed.
So usually we talk about you talk about the health issue, the health issues that are associated with that, and also the loss of lives and all of that. But we don't pay attention to the economic bit of it. And I wonder why that also happens.
Yes. Because the economic aspect is somehow indirect. When there's a flood and then there's outbreak of cholera or diarrhea and people are dying, it is something that all of us can see. Reporters like you can go out and report, and people will see. But the economic aspect, which is the anchor, is indirect, and it's not too easy for people to see. Or let me put it this way: it's very easy for people to overlook. And there are about leaders, political leaders must also be mindful and take all the critical variables, economic, social, health, environmental factors into consideration, and then they must ensure that this problem is adequately addressed. So basically, it's our nature. We are not just too serious. Not that we don't know. I've told you. I mean, look, if you have time and then you peruse old proposals, planning of Accra, etc., etc. Look, the idea has been there, but the execution is what is lacking. And we are a group of people that we are not too serious about the future of our country, of our people, and then the next generation. And to me, that is that. It's about time that we need to take steps and and
deal with that. Right. Now, let's look at the household, and then we'll touch on business, and then maybe we can wrap up, and I'll let you go. I know you have to go. So the household issues. So what does flooding do to household economics? I mean, beyond what we see on the surface, and by that I mean in terms of savings, income stability, and all of that.
Look, my brother, if you do a thorough analysis, most Ghanaians are running what I describe as the daily economy. What it means is that people go out daily and they are able to get what it takes to be able to sustain the family. Okay, apart from people who are working in the public sector, few people that rely on a monthly salary. Largely, most people, these traders, their life depends on the daily sales. So anytime there is a flooding and they are unable to even go out and sell, they are unable to go out and do their usual economic activity. And what it means is that no money. I mean, some of them that it took them years to be able to put up such structures, and one day flood comes and then everything is gone. No place of abode, everything is gone. It's quite a serious issue, and it is time that the managers of the economy do a thorough analysis of the situation, how the effect on household, effect on the overall national economy, and then as well as the usual health effect that we know. So it really affects the households, and it is quite a serious situation. Even where government steps in to compensate, the question is how much. Okay, so we need to design our economy to the extent that and appreciate the structure of our economy. That largely, let's go back a little bit. During COVID, if you recall, when the economy was closed, you could just imagine how people queue looking for food on a daily basis when the government started distributing food. That is to tell you that the bulk of our people, their income level is dependent on what I describe as the daily economy. They go out and sell. These are our sisters who sell by the roadside, who go to the market and sell, and they are able to get something to be able to sustain the family. So if the managers of the economy understand the structure in this way, I think that will really help them to do what is needful to be able to ensure the household's economy is sustained. And this is a very serious issue. Okay, if you get to a level, that is where people will start resorting to social vices to be able to survive. It's not every criminal that is this intended plan to be a criminal. Others is as a result of basic economic issues. Okay, so these things are things that ought to be taken seriously, and that is my humble submission and my appeal to the managers of the economy. As much as I understand that it will cost the nation, but it is a necessary cost, and we need to ensure that is done.
Right. Can you also paint a picture of what happens to the businesses? And I mean, from that perspective and also the productivity perspective, if you can paint a picture of that briefly for us.
Yes. Let me give you a practical example. Yesterday I was in court, and the calculation is that by today we should be done with cross-examination. The airway interpreter who is supposed to assist, because his place got flooded, is unable to be there as as planned. So we couldn't do any business. Are you okay? So even those of us who are in the legal profession, it's a huge cost to me. Businesses as well. What it means that people will not be able to come and patronize or demand for your commodity. Workers will not be able to be in the office to be able to do their duties that will bring money to the company. So it affects businesses as well as it affects individuals. Because it is not safe. If you live at certain places and it's really serious, it's not safe for you to even live, to come to work. All your place is flooded, your room everywhere is flooded. Even if the person should get to the office, may not have that sound mind to be able to contribute economically or significantly to productivity. So businesses, it really affects their operations during this period.
All right. Now let's finally touch on the government spending. So you also mentioned that briefly a while ago when you spoke, but maybe you may want to throw some more light on that again. What kind of pressure does the recurring floods, place on government spending?
Yes, certainly. This is unplanned. Right from the beginning of the budget, there wasn't nothing of that sort in the budget. But it's getting to a place where government need to do something about it, and that may shift the focus of government expenditure. It may add on to government expenditure, and that will further widen the fiscal gap. Okay, I only pray that we will not get to a extent where government will have to immediately step in and spend more money, so that they will be able to have time and plan against next year rainy season. Okay, so these are unforeseen expenditure, unforeseen because we have failed to plan for it. Not that we don't know it will occur, and it will significantly distort government expenditure outline, because government cannot sit when your people are getting flooded. They cannot go to work. They cannot earn income, to sustain the family. It's affecting the government operation, is affecting businesses. The government will really have to step in, whether you've planned for it or not. And that will mean that unplanned expenditure, and it will distort government plans for the fiscal year 2026.
All right, Mr. Nim, I'll let you go now. But maybe finally, how do we redesign our system? What should be the first priority? Do we focus on better infrastructure? Do we look at maybe stronger policy enforcement, or maybe improve personnel and business preparedness? Where do we start from?
I think we need all the variables that you have outlined, and then working together. They must work simultaneously, and that should be the way forward. We need all the things that you have just outlined, and once that is executed simultaneously, my view is that we'll have a better city and better communities to live in as people.
All right. Thank you very much. I'll let you go now because you
was grateful.
You
was
have
grateful.
to. All right. All the best. Thank you so much.
You.
All right. Okay. That was lawyer Daniel Enim. He is an economist and also a lawyer. He has some things to attend to, and so he just spoke to us briefly this morning. But we're going to continue the conversation in studio now, because at the end of the day, we've been able to look at the national and household costs, and its clear impact is that, of course, it's clear that the impact is wide and deep. But that raises another critical question, that when these losses happen, who actually absorbs them financially, and how prepared are we for that? And so I'm going to continue the conversation with Edward Kwejo Owusu. He is an chartered insurance professional, and he joins me in studio for the conversation. Edward, good morning.
Good morning, Neil.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Right. So, yes. So you heard me talk to
a
lawyer Enim, yes, yeah. And he's speaking extensively about the impact on households and businesses and all of that. In practical terms, how many households in Ghana have insurance? Not just households and businesses. Let me attach it so that it comes together for you in Ghana. How many of them are actually protected by insurance against, say, flood-related issues?
Okay, thank you. I think from my experience, when it comes to property insurance, that's the least purchased in our market. Yes, because, Ghana, I'm also speaking from experience.
Right.
Ghana is more of like a religious nation. So you go to people trying to sell insurance to them for fire, for flooding and these things, and most of the time, the response you get is that, we've been here for a long time, nothing has happened, and God is our protector and all that. Yes, I believe God is our protector, but God has also given us the wisdom and the mind to also take some of these decisions to forestall some of these emergencies that happens. So most households, I can say, do not have these property insurance, except some of these high-end properties, people who really understand insurance, who purchase it. But most of the times, those who are really affected by these floods, most of them do not have insurance.
But is flood risk typically included in a standard insurance package here in this country?
Yes, it is. So when you take a standard fire and allied peril policy, one of the allied peril is the flood.
Okay.
And then when you take a homeowner's comprehensive or homeowner's property landlord's insurance, flood can be endorsed or extended on the policy. So it's something that is covered. Yes. And even with the normal comprehensive motor insurance, flood is also included in that policy. So it's
I see.
Yes.
But I am not aware. But are people aware these things are included in their policies?
Oh yeah, some people are aware. Anytime I come here, I always speak about the fact that we need to educate people more on it. But people are aware, especially. So if you have a comprehensive policy and your car gets flooded, the insurance company will pay for the damage that's caused by the flood. So that is covered under the policy. But oftentimes you also get people taking third-party policies. So something happens and they are not covered and they think the insurance doesn't work. But I think
what is a third-party policy?
Okay, so with the motor policies, we have three types. We have the third party, that's the basic one, that is compulsory by law.
Okay.
And then we have the third party fire and theft. So the third party, what it means is that insurance is a contract. So you are the insurance company, I'm the insured. Okay. So the contract is between me and you.
Yeah.
So the third party means that you are taking the insurance cover to protect your liabilities against people who are not in this contract. So in this case, if I've taken a policy with you, if something happens to third parties, so if my car runs into somebody's property, my car runs to damage, then they are covered. Even that one is capped at 8,000 Ghana cedis. for the standard policy, third-party policy. You can buy more coverage, but the standard one is 8,000 Ghana cedis. So that's the basic third-party cover. And most people go for that because if you don't have that, the police will disturb you. The comprehensive is the higher version, which is quite expensive than the third party. But once you have that one, then it covers your car and then the third party as well.
Okay.
Yes.
I see.
Yeah.
So you're saying that people are aware when flooding happens. What do these, claims especially, or the claims process typically look like?
Okay. Yeah. So floods happen every year. Almost every June, July, we get to hear of these institutions. Yeah. Yes. So with the claims process, it depends on how you bought your insurance. So, in selling insurance, you can either buy through an agent, you can either buy through a broker, or you can buy it directly from the insurance company. So depending on the channel that you use. So assuming you use a broker to purchase your insurance and your place is flooded, first of all, the important is you need to notify the broker that my place got flooded as a result of the rains. And then he will come and assess it, or he will ask you certain questions, ask for certain pictures or videos to confirm it.
Yeah.
And then whatever is damaged within that property by way of the flood, you get an estimate or invoice for replacement, and the claim process begins. If you also bought the insurance policy directly from the insurance company, then you notify them directly that I had, as a result of the, and once it's flooded, once it rains, all of us get to hear of it.
Yeah.
So it's something that once you report and becomes obvious, that then the insurance company will pay once your policy covers that. Yes.
So that's easier to verify.
To verify, exactly. Compared to maybe you come and tell me your car got bent. You need to go for police and fire report to confirm.
Yeah.
But once it is rained in my area, the whole place is flooded, there are videos, and now even with social media, you see it all over. It becomes easier for the insurance company to verify, and the items that are damaged also become very verifiable, and then your claim will be paid. Yes.
But is that to say that there are no challenges when it comes to validating, processing, and all of that of these claims?
Well, so the challenge will be that, you see, with property insurance and then with fire insurance, the ones that will cover the flooding, the challenge will be that, you see, at the point of underwriting, you're supposed to, for clarity's sake, you're supposed to list all the items that perhaps you are covering. There are instances where you get insured, you get people lumping everything together. So, for instance, I'm doing my property insurance, the building and the content. I say my building costs 100,000, my content costs 50,000. The challenge will come when, in this instance, maybe only your living room was flooded, and so therefore your living room furniture or TV were damaged.
Yeah.
Now you lump everything together. How do you determine the individual prices of these items? That's how come.
I don't get it. Break it.
So what I'm saying is that you asked about the challenge. So for this by way of an education and by way of advice to people. When you are taking some of these policies, make sure that you break down the items. So I have a TV in my hall. The TV costs 1,000 Ghana cedis. I have a furniture in my hall. It costs 2,000 Ghana cedis. So you break down all these items, you put it together, get a total. So if there's flooding, because obviously if you're in a storey building like this, the down may be flooded, the top may not be flooded. So if you have listed the items and given it individual prices, and the down is fair, we know that, okay, when you go to the living room, TV was damaged, TV cost 2,000. Living room furniture was damaged, cost 3,000. So it becomes easier for the insurance company to pay.
Okay.
You understand? Instead of saying, okay, all the content in my house is 50,000. Now, if you put all of them together like that, the challenge is how do you determine, then the insurance company will come to go and bring receipts and things, and people then feel like, okay, when you were doing the policy, you didn't ask me for these things, the insurance people are accrued, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But if you had listed them or if you had itemized them from the beginning, it becomes easier because I know the items that are damaged and I know what I'm paying for.
Why don't people do the right thing, like you're saying, so one after the other? Is it that sometimes there's a lot of pressure from the insurance company so that they can just sign you up, or people don't know?
I think it depends on who is selling the insurance to you.
Okay.
Yes, and it also comes down to the education I've always been talking about. So most of the time, because of target pressure and things on salespeople, they want to close down the business quickly and move to the next customer. But I also believe that because technically what you are selling is a claim, and it will become very frustrating when somebody has purchased insurance and claim comes and the person gets frustrated. You lose the client.
Yeah.
Negative publicity goes out there against insurance companies. So I think the people selling know, but for whatever reason, they are not able to break it down to people. And you see, people, like I said it the last time, that most of the people who also purchase the insurance, they don't even read the policy documents we are giving them.
That's true.
So a claim happens, and then you're asking them to bring A, B, C, D, and they think that, no, this is not what I signed for. So it goes to both those of us selling and those buying.
Yeah.
Let's do the right things from the beginning, so that when a claim comes, it is settled promptly and everybody is happy. Yeah.
Still on the issue. So, for instance, I don't want us to limit this to just households, because we want to also incorporate businesses as well.
Exactly.
So when a flood occurs, and it affects the building, do you pay for like the individual things in there? For instance, the couch, the TV, and all of those things as part of the package, or they are packages that are only for the building?
Okay, so we have different types of policies.
Okay.
So we have the landlord's policy, which technically most of the times covers the building alone.
Okay.
And then we have the homeowner's comprehensive, which covers the building and the content. We have the fire and allied peril policy, which covers you against fire and flood and all these things. So depending on the coverage that you are on, and once the flood bit is endorsed or is part of the policy, once you take it and then there's a claim or there's a loss as a result of flood, because you've already listed the items that you are insuring, it becomes easier for it to be settled.
Right.
Yes, it becomes easier for it to be settled. That's why I said that let's itemize the things we have in as part of the content. Let's not put everything together.
Okay.
So when these floods come, you are covered. Even with the building. So sometimes flood can even cause your wall to collapse. And those things are all covered, because when you're doing the property insurance, the wall is also included in the insurance. So once your wall collapses as a result of the flooding, then your wall will be reconstructed for you, or you bring cost of replacement or reconstruction, then the insurance company pays you, and then you reconstruct your wall.
Why is it important to go for insurance against flooding and all of these things we're talking about?
Insurance is a risk transfer tool. So I take insurance today for future risks or losses that will occur. So I'm paying premium for future events. All right. So it's important that you go for insurance, because now most of the people who are getting their homes and properties flooded, if you don't have insurance, you still go look for money to replace these things. Right.
Yeah.
But assuming you had insurance comes in and then replace the items for you. And I always say that when it comes to property insurance, that's one of the cheapest on the market. But that's what people are also not buying. Because assuming you have a house of, say, 1 million Ghana cedis, and you want to insure against flood and fire and other things, maybe with a rate of, say, 0.25 or 0.3, you're paying like 3,000 Ghana cedis for the whole year. Now you add a tax to it. So your premium is not even up to 5,000 Ghana cedis for the whole year.
Wow.
But assuming there's flood, some of these high-end homes, the couch alone can cost you over 30, 50,000. You understand? But true. If you pay this small amount, because insurance is a pool, then when something like this happens, you get compensated. And I mean, you're not going to dip your hand into your savings to replace these items. So insurance is something every household must have.
But do you insure everybody, or people who are who have built on the Ramsar sites don't qualify?
Of course, insurance is also a legal contract.
Right.
You understand? So it's something that fronts on the legality of the law. I mean, ordinarily we are not supposed to do.
Yeah.
All right. Because if where you've built your house is against the law, then technically insurance will not come in. So,
but that was just by the way.
Yeah, doing the underwriting, we assess all these things, and then we come to a conclusion whether to accept the risk or to let the risk go. Yes.
So if somebody is not living in a or which kinds of people should actually come for property insurance?
Everybody.
Everybody.
So landlords can take insurance, tenants can take insurance. So we have tenants insurance, we have shop owners insurance. So this market's getting flooded. The shop owners, I mean proper shops, not tabletops and this, but proper shop owners can come for insurance. Tenants. So as a tenant, you cannot insure the building because you have no financial interest in it. But you can insure the content in there because that's where your financial interest is. That is what you stand to lose if something gets damaged or by way of flood or by fire. So tenants can also take insurance on their content. Landlords also take insurance on their properties. You understand? And even individuals, because this flood is not just affecting properties, it's affecting individuals as well. Sometimes you can even, as a result of this flooding, waterborne diseases come. If you have health insurance, you are covered. If you have insurance on your cars. I mean, comprehensive insurance on your cars. You're also covered. So insurance is for everybody, everybody in society.
I see, but
Yes.
but is it? Some people say that the what you give after the how do you call it? What you
The
claim
premium.
the premium?
Yes.
Yes. They say that it is not enough, so it is something very partial. It doesn't help you solve your whole problem. How
As
true
in the
is that?
claim that we pay.
Yes, the claim that you pay. Yeah.
Okay, so
For flooding and some of these things that we
yes, one of the principles of insurance is the principle of indemnity.
Mm.
So insurance is supposed to indemnify you or to restore you to where you were prior to the accident or the loss.
Okay.
So as an insured, you're not supposed to benefit from an insurance policy. For example, if I come and insure my house or my properties for let's say 100,000, and there's a claim, you don't expect the insurance company to pay you more than the 100,000.
Okay.
You can't say, okay, last year I bought the items for 50,000. Now it's 100,000, so pay me 100,000. That is not what you pay the premium on. That's what sometimes people don't understand, and they feel like, okay, what you are giving me cannot pay or compensate me adequately for the loss that has occurred. And there's something also called excess or deductible on these policies. That is the portion or the percentage that the insured takes in the event of a claim. So for example, if you take a standard policy, they say, okay, 10% excess, minimum of say 2,000. What that means is that if I've insured my property for say 100,000 and it is completely damaged, out of that 100,000, you, the insured, will take a portion of 10%, which is 10,000. You understand? So the insurance will end up paying you 90,000.
Right.
So I think we need to do more education. Explain the policies to clients, let them understand that these are the do's and the don'ts. These are what the policy covers. These are the conditions. These are the warranties. So when people understand it, it becomes easier at the point of claim. Exactly. So it's not like people are taking insurance and they are not getting the full benefit. It's what the policy term says that will be paid to you. Yes.
I see. Right, because I know that there are people that are listening to us this morning. I mean, who didn't even know that there was something like insuring yourself against flood and all of that. And so I think it's very important that we're having this conversation. But just hold on for me. Let me announce the phone lines in case anybody wants to send us a WhatsApp. Feel free to do that. This morning we're talking about the cost of flooding and I mean on businesses, on households, and the entire economy. And I spoke to lawyer Daniel a while ago. He's an economist. He joined us, spoke briefly about it, and now we're talking with Edward Kwejowusu. He is an insurance professional, and he's telling us that there are so many things that you can insure. I mean yourself against, and one of them is flooding. So feel free to send us a WhatsApp if you have questions, comments. I'm happy to read them for you. 0544 321019 0544 321019. And I'll read your messages for you right here. And also you can call us on 03039 56641 03039 56641, and then we give you the opportunity to share your thoughts with us this morning. We're streaming live on Facebook at ZFMGH and on YouTube at Z Multimedia. Please drop a comment there as well, and we'll read them for you. We'll take a quick music break, and then when we return, we'll continue the conversation right here. Please stay tuned. 101.9 FM with me, Trebi Hammond. And this morning we're talking about we're talking now about insuring yourself against flooding and all of that. And that's my guest is Edward Kojo Owusu. He is an insurance professional and he's in studio with me this morning having this conversation. Edward, let's continue the conversation. Sure. So I think what we're speaking about went largely for households. Let's look at businesses. Yeah. So what insurance packages are there for businesses as well against flooding, or is it the same thing?
Yes. So I think what I've said, so with businesses too, they can also take insurance on their properties.
Okay.
So these manufacturing companies, even your office, so even this office, you can take insurance on your property against flooding and fire and all that. And then there's one thing also called business interruption insurance.
Right.
Because once these floods
what is that?
Yes, so that's what I'm explaining. Okay. Once these floods come in, your business operations are interrupted. You understand? Because assuming you come in the morning and the whole place is flooded, business cannot go on. Okay, so business cannot go on. So one, you're going to lose your sales or your revenue for the day. Your profit goes down. So that's what the business interruption policy covers. So that in the event of profit loss or revenue loss, that insurance covers you for that. So as a business owner or somebody who runs a business, once you are taking the insurance on your property, you need to take the business, because the business interruption insurance is not a standalone policy. Okay. It's a policy you take in addition to a fire or a property insurance that you've already taken. So that because the interruption comes in when there's fire or there's flooding. Yeah. When these things are not there, business continues as usual. So it's an endorsement or it's an additional policy to these policies that I've already spoken about. Okay. Yes. So that policy is also there.
It's also there. In instances where maybe the building itself didn't flood, but it was just maybe the street, in front of the building, and that affected the business for the day. What happens? Do you pay the person for?
Yes. So that's when the business interruption comes in, because assuming your frontage is flooded and people cannot come in to transact business with you, you are being affected. Okay. Your business is being interrupted. Do you get it? So the insurance will come in and then compensate you.
What would they pay for around that? Do they pay their day's
so
wage?
So when you're taking the business interruption insurance, so as a business owner, you have an inventory of the things, or you have records. You keep records. So you know the sales you do on daily basis. You know the profit and the revenue that comes in. So assuming I'm a grocery shop, or I operate a business in a day, maybe I make a profit of say 5,000. Once my business is interrupted for that day and no work goes on and it is confirmed, then that is what the insurance will pay for. The revenue that you lost or the profit that you lost within the day.
Interesting. Insurance must be very good.
It's very good. Insurance is very good, yes.
But let's talk about how much people put in for these insurances. To insure themselves. Okay. Against what they get from that. Tell us what actually it looks like.
Okay, so it depends on your sum insured. Okay. The amount you want maybe guaranteed. That determines the premium that you pay. You understand? So if you are telling me, okay, every week or every day I'm making sales of say 1 million Ghana cedis, I'm making profit of 1 million Ghana cedis, that's huge. So obviously the premium that you will pay on that will be higher than somebody who tells you I make a profit or income of 5,000. Right. You understand? So the higher the risk, the higher the amount you also pay or contribute to the pool. Because like I always say, insurance is a pool that we are all contributing. So in the event of a loss, the few that are affected are compensated. Yes. So how much you put in or how much you pay depends on the risk you are bringing to the pool. Yes.
Okay. All right. Now let's talk generally about the systemic risk concern. Now, is the industry itself, the insurance industry, is it itself under pressure from the increasing frequency of the flooding and all of that? Are you guys, well positioned to be able to cater for all of these things? Because flooding has become something that we see all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
Yes, insurance companies are well positioned. You know, the minimum capital requirement for an insurance company is about 50 million Ghana cedis. Yeah, so that is quite huge to cover for some of these losses. And even in the event where the risk is even higher, we have these reinsurers whose even minimum capital are high. I think 125 million Ghana cedis for reinsurers. Okay. So if the risk is even beyond your primary insurer, they can reinsure the excess or the limit beyond their retention to other insurance, or they can co-insure amongst themselves or give it to a higher body, which is the reinsurance company. So yes, insurance companies are well positioned, or they're in the capacity to take care of these risks that comes. Yes.
Yeah, I ask that because I know that people who might be listening to us and think that, oh, because flooding happens a lot.
Yeah.
What if I go and insure and then they are unable to pay me? So I think it's a good
insurance
clarity.
company, they will pay.
They'll be able to do that.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Okay. So what practical solutions and innovations could improve the protection for households, for businesses, and all of that going forward?
Well, I think the lawyer earlier mentioned. I mean, it's a collective effort. We all must contribute towards this flooding, because it's becoming a recurrent event every year.
Yeah.
Where every year there's flooding, properties are lost, sometimes life are lost, diseases, spread of disease, and all that. So I think now most of the assemblies, I think the KMA or the AMA, they've started the AMA, and some of these district assemblies have started demolishing structures on waterways. I think people need to be more responsible.
Okay.
The assemblies need to enforce the laws to ensure that structures and properties in waterways are cleared, because that is what causes the flooding. You understand? Because even if you have insurance and your properties are damaged, it will, I mean, once you are even compensated by the insurance, it takes time to restore the trauma, the stress and things that you go through. And so, I mean, we all have to be very responsible.
Right.
We need to stop dumping refuse into gutters. Just get the gutters choked, and then when the flood waters come, they are not able to flow freely to
That's
go.
true.
And people need to be responsible. The assemblies, like I said, the government, they must enforce the laws to ensure that the right things are done. And once these things are done, I'm sure these flooding issues, even if you cannot eradicate it completely, to reduce, and then lives and properties will be saved. Yeah.
Okay, right, very important. Let's try and wrap up now. The issue about the insurance. What are the next steps for anybody listening to us who is, who has a business or anybody at all?
So like I said, I mean, there are different channels of purchasing an insurance. So you can either purchase your insurance through an agent, through a broker, or directly from the insurance company. And even now, some of the banks do what we call bank assurance. So you can even reach out to your bank if they have those policies. So
what is that?
So the bank assurance, the insurance company just selling the insurance on behalf of the insurance company. So the bank
selling
the insurance on behalf of the insurance company. Right. Exactly. So sometimes they market these things. There's another distribution channel where the insurance company uses, because the banks have the customers. So they sell insurance to the customers through the banks. So you can speak to your relationship officer or relationship manager if they do some of these policies, and you can buy, or you can just walk into any of the insurance companies and tell them about the business you are running, the risks you are faced with, and then they will assess the risk and then give you a premium you pay. And that will give you the peace of mind to sleep, because you know that you are covered in the event of any loss or any issue. Yes, exactly.
What should people know about insurance or what is any misconception that people know about insurance or have about insurance that they need to clear as soon as possible? I
think the major misconception is that we don't pay claims.
Okay.
That has always been the issue, that insurance companies, they take the premium, and when the loss happens, they don't pay. But this morning, let me say to people or all our listeners that has changed, because basically that's what we are selling, the claims. If I sell to you and a claim happens and I don't pay, I'm losing you, the customer. And you see, the penetration rate in our system or in our country is very low.
It's very low.
So now claims payment is not an option. Every insurance company pays claims, and they pay it promptly. So that misconception should go. That the insurance company don't pay claims. Now, even if they don't pay, you can even go ahead and report them to the NIC, the National Insurance Commission, and your issue will be resolved. So now it's the business of every insurance company to pay claims and pay it promptly, so that their customer base will even increase. So let me say to listeners that perception has changed. Insurance companies are paying claims, so people should take their properties and take their destiny to their own hands and insure their properties, insure their lives, so that if something happens, or when the floods come, when fire comes, when any loss comes, they are covered. And they don't have to fall on family members, they don't have to fall on government, even with their limited resources, to come to their aid. But once you have the insurance company will sort you out.
How important is reading the policy documents, in before you get into any insurance?
It's very important because that's the contract you are signing. You understand?
Yeah.
So the policy document states or spells out what is covered and what is not covered. It gives you the terms and conditions, how to even make a claim.
Right.
So if you don't read all these things, how do you know what is covered and what is not covered? Do you understand? So you need to read the policy document, know what you are entering into, the policy you are taking, what it covers, what it doesn't cover. Even helps you when the claim comes. Or if you read the document and realize, okay, these things are not covered, but my business is exposed to that, you can discuss that with the underwriter. Okay. So that if there are any endorsements or extensions that they need to do for you, they do it for you to cover you. But if you don't read and you are given just the basic or the standard cover and something happens, they'll only pay for what you took, the cover you took. So reading the policy is very, very important. Very, 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 very important.
Are there insurances against or is there an insurance against, or I mean on the loss of lives during flooding and all of that?
Yes, so there so we have life policies.
Okay.
Life insurance policies against death.
Right. So it's not directly related to flooding, but it also counts.
Yes, it also counts. Once you have a life insurance policy and then you die as a result of the flood, yes, your beneficiaries or the administrators of your estate can fall on your policy and then get the compensation for your beneficiaries. So yes, there's a policy like that. So I can take a life insurance policy on my life that in the event I die, and if you die through flooding. To that's also then you get compensated for that. So yeah, there are policies like that there. Yes.
All right. Yeah. So why is it important that somebody should go get it like right now?
Come again.
Go get the insurance right now for against flooding. And
well, I believe most people are seeing what is happening. They are seeing the damage out there. People being displaced from their homes, people's property. So I mean, the evidence is clear out there. So if you are listening to us and you don't have insurance, you just sit in your car or sit in an Uber and move into an insurance company. And like I'm saying, these insurances are not expensive. Move, get a cover so that you have your peace of mind. When you sleep, you can sleep. Yeah. But if you don't have these covers, when you are sitting in the office and it's raining, you are thinking back what is happening at home, and that even affects your productivity. Yeah. So whoever is listening to us now who does not have insurance should move to the nearest insurance company or should call their broker or their agent to assist them get a right and a proper cover in place for them, so that anytime anything happens, they are covered.
They are covered.
Yes.
You were sharing your story with me. Maybe we can close with that story of how your place flooded. Yes. Then just share with us.
So like I said, there was one time that I traveled with my family, and before we traveled, I think the taps were not flowing. So we had opened the tap and we did not close it. By the time we came back, I think the tap had come and our room was flooded. Our bedroom was flooded. The bed was floating. Everything in the room was floating. Immediately we came, we took pictures, videos of it, sent it to our insurance company and told them this is what has happened. We got invoice for replacement of the items and we were paid.
Wow.
We were paid. Me, because I do insurance, I don't take chances with some of these things. We were paid. So assuming I had not done that, I needed to take money from my own pocket to replace the bed and everything. Yeah. But once I had the insurance, quickly I informed my insurance company. I notified them, and then the insurance was paid. So insurance is very, very good.
Very, very good.
Very, very, very good.
Okay. I have a question here from somebody. It says that if you register the flood insurance today, and you get affected the next day, can you still claim?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes. Insurance takes effect the day you pay your premium. So if I walk into an insurance company today, take a policy, pay my premium, policy document is given to me, the policy has kicked in. It's active. So if it happens tomorrow, you are covered. There are instances, let me use an example, motor. There was one instance, somebody came in to do a comprehensive insurance. Once he was getting out of the insurance compound, he had an accident. He's covered. So yes, once you've paid your premium, your policy is handed over to you, receipt is generated, the insurance kicks in. Yes.
Wow.
So there's no, what do you call it? There's
you
no
have to wait after
waiting
days,
period.
Days.
No. That happens with some of the life policies. But when it comes to general insurance, there's no waiting period. Yes. The insurance kicks in immediately, the policy is taken and paid for.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Edward, thank you very much for
Thank
your
you
time.
very much.
Is there anything you want to say before we go?
Like I always say, let's and you see, beginning of the year, as part of our resolutions or as part of budgeting, let's add insurance to our budget. Let's add insurance to our to-do list for the year, because I mean, insurance is the best risk mechanism tool that we have. And I will encourage everybody to embrace it and to go for it. And when something happens, insurance companies, they pay.
Yeah.
So that is my advice to our listeners this morning. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Edward Kwejo, also really grateful to you for coming this morning. Yes, Edward is an insurance professional, and he joined us this morning talking about the issue of the cost of flooding. Really, that's the main conversation. We spoke with lawyer Daniel Enim. Yes, he joined us as an economist earlier, speaking about the costs on households and business, and of course the entire Ghanaian economy. And then Edward wrapped up with us on insurance for that. So make sure you go grab some insurance, go take some insurance so that you can protect yourself, especially around this time. And I believe that will help you greatly. And so that's how we wrap up today on the Business Breakfast on Z101.9 FM. My name is Nitrebi Hammond. We're back again tomorrow for some more interesting conversations. Until then, please keep listening to Z101.9 FM and take very good care of yourself. And of course, when you think Ghana, think Z. I'll see you tomorrow. Up next is The Brighter Side with Jeremy Okoria Mako. Bye-bye.